It's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal channel, and today we're back visiting the wonderful band Liliac with a brand new single, Rise Up. Now, last week or so, a couple of weeks, whatever time this video comes out, we did review the single Nothing, and that was from actually 4 years ago. Because we've been obviously looking at some of their covers, we've looked at some of the originals, and we've been talking about the whole idea of covers versus originals, how many covers were in their set. We've talked about the image of the band, where they went from vampiric rock, which was back in 4 years ago. A lot of the conversation has been around how they changed their look on their tours to relate to the albums. And so Rise Up is the new album, or is the song off the new album. And they're dressed very much accordingly to what they're doing on the tour at the moment, which is also kind of like, I don't know, rebellion fighters sort of thing. So they're all kind of wearing like guerrilla warfare type clothing. And I was kind of curious because if you look at the image of the band, no matter which image you look at, they could be any different type of genre. So it is a very inconsistent look, but it's all about the music. But I do think that look does have a thing about driving you to whether you click on a band sometimes. If you go, oh, that's the band, that's not really my kind of thing. They don't look like the sort of band that I'd be into, so you don't naturally click on it. It shouldn't put you off clicking on a band, but as I say to a lot of people, when they go, oh, why was that person's look stopped you from clicking on them? I'm like, well, because if I've got 1,000 bands that I could pick from, I've only got so much time in my day.
Yeah, I mean, admitted, in the early 2000s, all those MySpace metalcore bands with a triangular fringe covering one eye.
Yeah.
Did you take one look and think, not for me? I did.
Just
the image alone's like, not for me.
Well, we're going to check out Rise Up. We'll play it through and, share our thoughts at the end. Let's do it.
Rise up.
Okay, there we go. So Liliac and Rise Up. Let's talk about what we've seen, what we've heard. Andy.
We've done quite a few Liliac videos on the channel. We've at least 4, maybe a couple more than that. And that to me was like a new band. I mean, I think we were speaking up, off camera that, they're constantly changing their sort of stage look and they sort of, adopt different sort of costumes and themes for whichever tour they're on that sort of relates to the album that they're promoting at the time. And to me, that would be, well, this is a new band. I've not seen them before because they sounded sort of different and certainly looked different. I mean, there's it was kind of, I mean, my initial thoughts were looking sort of around the sort of band members and what they were in, sort of almost sort of Ramstein meets Mad Max, because the bass player looked like the gyro captain from Mad Max 2 with his like flying helmet and goggles on his head, and just that kind of sort of futuristic. I mean, Kirk, you mentioned there was an industrial feel to it. I picked out a few sort of different sort of influences and bands. There's sort of a bit of an Iron Maiden sort of riff sort of in the middle, Rammstein again. There was sort of like squeal notes as well occasionally, but it's hard to describe what this is and whether I like it. It's enjoyable, but it's certainly not something I'd go back to. I think she's got a good voice, but like I say, it just seems very different again from any other Liliac song we've done. I mean, I know some of them have been covers as well, and some have been sort of further back in their career. I think one was sort of about 4 years ago that we mentioned. I mean, what stands out for me from watching this band was the sort of the carousel, the sort of carnival song. There was
Carousel.
It was called Carousel.
Carousel.
And there's the lead singer was like Ringmaster, and it was all sort of very
good story,
extravagant sort of music video. They seemed to be performing in a too smaller area for a 5-piece band. They just seemed to be squashed into that sort of cave. And they could have, if you were directing a music video, that area probably could have been bigger, and you've got like more individual shots of the band members. I mean, the video itself was entertaining and enjoyable, and it's certainly got rewatch value. You want to watch it again. The song was okay, but it's not really my sort of music, so it's very hard for me to say.
It's difficult if it's not a genre to listen to.
But it wasn't, something that I wouldn't enjoy for the purposes of doing something like this. I didn't think, oh Christ, not Liliac. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not something I think, oh yeah, I'm going to, look forward to the next one. But decent track if you're a fan of the band and that style of music. But yeah, the video was good. So the costumes were kind of, this stage of their career, obviously. I just thought the video it just seemed a bit compact, so walking through a narrow cave as well. Do you know what I mean?
It's 3 locations. It's the cave, the corridor, and then the outside shot, isn't it, really? Yeah,
it just seemed very compact when you perhaps could have expanded it and made sort of more use of the individual band shots. But yeah, over to you.
So with the video, it's been well shot. Obviously, it's very soundstagey cave. It's the sort of thing that you remember from like 1970s Star Trek kind of fake wall rocks.
Yeah.
It's that spray on rock sort of look. So it's you mentioned Goonies, same sort of thing. My challenge around the video is, what are they rising up against? They're in a cave. They talk about rise up. They come outside. There's a bit of fire, and they're looking up at the sky. I don't know what they're rising up against. There's no context.
Does it have to be literal, though? I mean, it can be laced with metaphor, can't it? You're always looking for a literal.
But they're in a cave. They come outside. So,
but rise up is that sort of classic rock metal kind of rise is used a lot in, as in it's a good.
It's used a lot.
Good chorus.
It's used a lot in this. The rise up is said more than any other lyric in the entire song in this case. So I'm trying to watch the video going, okay, so is it rise up against depression? Is it Terminator 2? Is it like, are they like the Resistance? Is it metaphorical? Is it like a fake resistance? Are they talking about rise up against the government? Are they talking about rise up? Is there something they specifically want you to rise up? Or is it just, I know they've done a call to arms about rising up as support for the band, so rise up and spread the word. But that video doesn't really relate to that as well. So I'm just that last little bit of detail about what exactly are you trying to get across in your selling. If you're trying to do a story and you're trying to put across something that you want people to rise up, and that or you believe you need to rise up against, what is it? Because I didn't get that from the video.
Do you not think that not every band on every song has to sort of explain? Tick all those boxes. Have they just written a song called "Rise Up" and we'll do a video to go with it? Without sort of saying, well, hold on a minute. Are people going to think, what are we rising up against? Does this style of sort of attire that we're wearing relate to rising up and what it is we're rising up against? You know?
When they wrote the song, if Melody is writing the lyrics, she must have thought about what she was talking about the rise up to be about. It's not about rise up about getting out of bed, is it? It's like rise up is not about setting your alarm on time. It's not going to be sort of that generalisation. It's going to be anyone who writes lyrics has a meaning, and any band that goes, it's whatever you want it to mean. It's talking out their fucking arse because you wrote your lyrics with a concept in mind.
Yeah.
Whether you want people to have their own concept,
listener to interpret my lyrics.
You want the listener to no, but it doesn't matter what you want. You wrote your lyrics with something in mind. So I would like to know what that is. Now, you can do videos where they can be abstract, but I've got no reason to watch that again now because I've not connected with the video. So that's my thing on the video. The video hasn't told me the story. So as I said, if I was to turn that song off, the lyrics or the music off, and just watch the video of the song Rise Up, I have no idea what it's about. Now, getting to the actual song itself, I actually really like it. I still think Carousel's my favourite of the ones we've done, but in the case of this song, what I really liked was everything felt more like it was trying to serve the song. Melody's vocals were not over dramatised. Now, sometimes when she's done some of the songs, she's kind of put far too much reverb or vibrato. So she puts a lot of vibrato in her voice. Now, this time she felt that she was trying to... You said in the Nothing about her using not her natural voice.
Yeah.
And when you hear her talk, the voice that she speaks in is more closer to this one with a little bit... This had a bit more vibrato on it. But when you hear her sing, she puts a lot of extra vibrato in her tone.
Yeah.
This felt a lot more controlled, and I really liked what Melody did here. It's not too over the top. But do you know what this song makes me think of? Is the intro track that bands play before they come on stage. This rise up, dun, 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 dun. They have that, and then the band drops and they go into their first song. This would be the sort of song because actually, if you think about it, it kind of just kept going circular. It was rise up, a little bit of another line, and back to the rise up.
So take a segment of that, or a quarter of that, and make it an intro.
Do a two-minute one.
First track on it. Yeah.
And I know that I think they are opening with this on the song. On the maybe they're not. I would assume they'd open up because it makes sense to do as an opening song, but. What you haven't got is there's no... You talk about it when you're doing songwriting about you want to take the vibe of the song here and then you want to kind of bring it up, so you bring up the energy and then you want to drop it back down with a breakdown. And this kind of just started it off and then it went here to the energy level and it stayed.
Just tension.
And then it got to the next vocal line and it carried on in that same... Then it got to the rise up again and it never really emotionally changed. And that's why it makes me think of an intro. It doesn't have that breakdown of the first chorus and then there's something punches in a massive breakdown. It felt like it was building. It's always building to something, but it then just ends at the song, and that's where the band would launch live. That's the vibe I was getting from the song. I liked it, but I didn't get it as something that had a hooky chorus melody apart from just singing Rise Up. And we're all going to be today, just keep going Rise Up. So we will have that in our head. So we will have that hook. But Kirk, your thoughts?
I'm not critical of a band changing their image because when you speak to fans of David Bowie during the 70s, like my mother, that was part of the fun. What's he going to look like next? How's he going to reinvent himself? So I don't think there's anything shallow about that. And we do see that certainly in heavy guitar music. Mudvayne, when they put an album out, they'd have a different look.
Yes, they did.
Slipknot, different masks. Obviously, all the talk is about Sleep Token and Ghost, isn't it, in terms of unleashing new characters and costumes. So I've not got a problem with that. I agree with you. There's no release to that song. It's Tensions. This would make an excellent track number 1 on an album to prepare you for the next song. I wouldn't really release this as a single, though, but I did like what they were doing. It's only 3 minutes and 22 seconds. It's not at any point giving you a simple drum beat either. It sounded quite industrial, didn't it? Like you said, rotational.
Yeah, there was an industrial vibe to it, that repetition.
But then they've got that 80s heavy metal guitar playing in the bridge to the chorus.
The Sams, yeah.
And then towards the end, it's almost like doom metal. But yeah, I think that was one of her better vocal performances. There's always a moment that sends a chill down my spine when I hear her voice melody because she's such a technically gifted singer. And it was that mid-late. She did actually put 5 seconds of just pure virtuoso showmanship in there, and she was like, "Oh, where did that come from?" And it still served the song. The image itself does work. Yeah, they're like scavengers in a post-apocalyptic age. The only survivors are teenagers.
That's the vibe I was getting, was possibly that.
But at the same time, I start to ask myself, are these ever going to appeal to an adult audience? At the moment, no. They're only young themselves. So I just don't, unless I'm confusing my opinion with how the world should share my opinion, which
It's
is
actually
classic sign of
weird.
sociopathic behaviour. But
It's what you're actually asking, because if you look at the comments that we get on these videos, they're all from people in their 60s.
what, you listen to this band?
Yeah. It's the bands that because they got into the band through their covers of Dio.
Right, okay.
So they
maybe
come
that is
across
clever
that
then.
it's the fans of the
Right.
Dio
Yeah.
that really liked what they did on the covers, got into them. Now they like the originals, which means what's really odd is that one of Liliac's biggest fan bases is your 50, 60 year plus audience. People that have been listening to them into their 70s
So that's
that
unique.
love classic
That's
rock.
me then.
Yeah, but if you were into that genre of music,
Well, let
if you
me-
like Zeppelin and all that sort of stuff, and
Let me ask the question then. Let's use the Hertfordshire metal scene that really congregates around Club 85. How many people do you know would listen to that? I think they'd probably look at the video
That's fair.
and they'd be thinking, okay, interest. They just know it's not for them. And I don't want to be critical about that either. I'm just saying myself, I'm the wrong side of 40. That's the type of thing I'd expect my niece to show me. But, oh, this is interesting. What you teenagers listening to? There's industrial. There's new metal in there. There's some virtuosic guitar playing in the chorus and a great singer. So I know what holds it all together. But I'm constantly asking myself, would I go out and buy an album? What does that say about me? Maybe I am being prejudicial, thinking too young,
Yeah, you are.
not for me. It looks like it's made for
Prejudiced
TikTok.
again.
But that's probably it. No, and I need to reform the way that I look at bands. So I'm always happy when you're showing me this music, because I do always want to, as a music reviewer, I do need to know what's going on in contemporary rock and metal,
Sure.
even stuff that's on the more poppier side, that gets all its views on YouTube and Instagram. So I do need to know what's going on. And if these are the poster children for this type of music, then
Yes.
they're doing a good job. I felt that was a good song. And obviously on this channel, we always have to say why we think it's good, which we've done. And in my opinion, it is because the vocals are more restrained. And I did like those harmonizing backing vocals in the chorus. And the best part of it was the drum beat to me, which was, Rammstein. It had an industrial element to it. So it's not like any of the other songs I've heard by this band. But yeah, my favourite still is Carousel, out of the songs that you've introduced us to.
There you go. That was Liliac and Rise Up. Now, if you enjoyed our video today, please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.